day. Amen. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Queenie.
Good afternoon, Doc. How is your day going so far? It's Monday.
No, my dog, I have to tell you this right off the bat. My dog, every time I do Doc and Queenie Facebook Live, she walks around behind me all the time. And I'm just telling her to lay down because she just jumped up as soon as I said that.
Wow. She must know Doc and Queenie. She wants to play.
Oh, I'm sure she does. She probably wants to get on camera and give us a few words of advice.
I think that's very cool.
So what's new with you these days, Queenie?
Well, I'm still changing all my clocks, Doc.
What time is it?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm thinking high noon, but I really don't know the answer. Yeah.
Well, I hope it's high noon somewhere. If it's not here,
Absolutely. One thing I did want to share, since daylight savings time is on people's mind at this point, obviously. Now, the good news is we talk a lot about Happy Neighborhood Project here, and the website converts the time zones. And so other countries that don't change, it converts the time zones for all of our meetings. And of course, I checked that yesterday right off the bat, and it was perfect. So another thing that you have been sharing with us, Doc, is ChatGPT. So I thought, let's take a look and see what daylight saving time is about as far as the ChatGPT post. DST, as they call it, is a practice of setting the clock ahead by 1 hour during the summer months to extend the amount of daylight in the evenings. In the United States, DST typically begins on the second Sunday of March and ends on the first Sunday of November. The idea behind it is to make better use of available daylight during the summer months when the days are longer. By moving the clock ahead by 1 hour, people can enjoy an extra hour of daylight in the evenings, which is especially helpful for those who enjoy outdoor activities or have long commutes. However, DST is a controversial practice, with some people arguing that it disrupts our sleep patterns and causes confusion, especially for those who live in areas that do not observe daylight savings time. Additionally, some studies suggest that DAT may not actually save energy as originally intended. Currently, countries around the world observe DST, although the start and end dates may vary. Now, isn't that a trip? You have talked before about your gardening. You look outside, it's sunny, let's go. And it's amazing that we need an actual daylight savings time for that.
Well, you just read my mind because, yeah, to me, the sun is out no matter what time it is.
Just go do something, right?
Yeah. And when the sun goes down, it's time to go inside.
Come inside, yeah. Yeah. Call the dog and say we're done for the day. I don't see why that is so tough, but that's what ChatGPT thinks about it. So I just thought that was an interesting concept.
I thought it was originally in this country for the farmers. Well, and
Yes.
Once again, when the sun goes down, then you stop working. This kind of thing just makes my head explode. It takes me a day or two to get used to, I guess. I don't even know if I have more of I get sleepy, especially on Mondays, problem when it's cloudy out. But
yeah,
it's still light out, so it doesn't matter, unless we were doing Doc and Queenie at 7 a.m. And I'm not suggesting that whatsoever, Queenie.
I appreciate that, Doc. And of course, my next question after that, would that be Central Time or Australia time?
Isn't Australia like a day behind us or something crazy like
they're
that?
Actually a day ahead, yes.
I knew it was one way or the other. I'm one of those, when the sun is up, okay, the sun's up whatever time it's going to be. It does not matter to me. It really, even if I wasn't gardening and outside, it still doesn't matter. It's one of those be flexible, ebb and flow with whatever's happening. You look at the clock. It's 7 a.m. Oh, it's dark out. Okay.
Yeah, I think Debbie Deb doesn't want Doc and Queenie at 7 a.m.
You are so narrow-minded, my friend. Like I should talk, but yeah.
Seriously, can you even imagine? Well, maybe there's people up at that hour as far as camera ready, but that is not my strength. So far, if we vote, we'll stick to high noon.
Yes, I think because then I don't get to hear you say hi noon. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Well, that was an interesting little tidbit on.
Honestly, from ChatGPT, I just thought, everybody's got their opinion. Let's see what the boss says. So I
Yep.
thought I'd just do some AI stuff.
Sounds fabulous. Hey, Queenie,
Hey, Doc.
would you like to know what the national days of are today while
Oh
we're
my
talking?
gosh. Sometimes you scare me because you always say on Mondays that there's not much of a choice. So I guess I'll say yes.
Because I get to pick and choose.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's good.
Debbie says I'm doing good to be camera ready by high noon. Yes, I hear you, sister.
That's my girl. Okay, I love that.
So I'm gonna read off a few, and then I have a few backgrounds too. So we'll
Okay.
read off the ones without the backgrounds. We have
Okay.
the National Napping Day after the return of daylight savings time.
National Napping Day.
I guess people are affected when you spring
Okay.
forward.
All right.
And that's I'm segueing back to what you were saying. That's another question. Like, I do the thing in my head of spring forward at 1 hour, fall back 1 hour, when we're doing that. So I hear, of course, we're not going to be changing anything soon. But do you remember it that way, Queenie?
Oh, absolutely. That does help me spring forward, fall back. And quite frankly, I would much rather lose an hour in the springtime than in the winter.
Yeah. So it's also National Earmuff Day. I was going to wear my earmuffs, but I can't find them.
Oh gosh, how funny is that? Okay.
It's 34 degrees outside, but it's 48 degrees in my greenhouse. So come
Okay.
on over, we'll hang out in the greenhouse.
Now, please say that again. What is it, the temperature in your house right now at your location?
Well, in my house, it's 70
No.
degrees. And
I know, but that you said earlier.
it's 34 degrees.
You know what it is here? 10 miles north of you. Do you know what it is here? And
Is it 27?
Correct.
Are you serious?
I am looking right now at my computer because it tells me my temperature is 27 degrees right this second, and I'm 10 miles north of you.
Is the sun out by you? Because the sun's out here.
Absolutely no close proximity of sunshine at all, and I'm near a window.
Because the sunshine is out, and of course, when it shines on the greenhouse, my greenhouse is 48 degrees. And my house is 70 degrees.
Well, my house is but still, yeah, the 27 piece. I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, we've talked occasionally, and you'd be like, "Oh, it's raining cats and dogs over here," and I said, "I don't see any cats or dogs here. That's absolutely quiet." Yeah. So
29 for Debbie, and she's north of both of us. So
it's crazy. So it's also National Open an Umbrella Indoors Day. So what's that all about?
Oh my gosh. Now that's, no offense, that's funny. First of all, I keep my umbrellas in my cars for the most part, but that's funny. And I think in the olden days, there was something about if you open an umbrella in your house, it's bad luck. And I know back in the day, there was like a mud room. So everybody would carry their umbrellas and their boots and their raincoats and all that stuff. And so you would open the umbrella, put it on the little carpet thing and dry it out, opened up before you close it, and they would get all moldy and stuff. So how many people, if you ask a young person right now, what color is your umbrella? They'd go, my what? And I just don't know how many young people carry umbrellas anymore.
Well, now they just track the mud in the house. Yeah.
There you go.
Dog included.
Yeah.
Happy National. I'm waiting. There we go. Jewels Day.
Oh my God. Now you've got my attention. I'm on it. Yeah. That looks fantastic. I'm definitely on that one.
And is this your favorite jewel behind me? Because it is one of my favorites. If I were to have
close,
jewels.
actually, I love emeralds also. So I think they might actually be tied.
Do you love emeralds because it's March, springtime? Green's your favorite color. You're Irish. I mean, what's the deal with the green? Or I mean, sorry, with the emerald.
I just love it. And an emerald cut diamond is very specific. It's rectangular and there's not much sparkle to it. It just makes a statement. I love that as well. So there's just something about emerald that just lights me up. So I love the color of it. I love the demonstrative statement an emerald makes. And usually my emeralds would be emerald cut or very, very square with very little brilliance, just a statement.
Yes, and it's funny because that's a very traditional emerald cut for an emerald.
Yeah.
At least most of the stuff I've seen.
Uh-huh.
So, and also it is National Good Samaritan Day.
Oh gosh, now that's fun.
So, what does Good Samaritan mean to you, Queenie?
That is super fun. Well, ironically, hello. Good Samaritan for me is kind of almost like a pay it forward. Think about doing something nice for someone else type of deal. And that it's very cool that there's such a thing as a Good Samaritan Day, because I think in terms of a random acts of kindness and Good Samaritan and pay it forward kind of all lumped together. What about you, Doc? What do you think of Good Samaritan?
I think it is reaching out to help others.
Uh-huh.
And it's also a reminder to those of us of our blessings that we have, and also our abilities to help, use our talents and our abilities and gifts and all of that, our blessings to help others.
Oh yeah.
How
cool
in
they
the background.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I put those hashtags on there because I was like, what does that, help, aid, service, assistance, helping hand, all of those things are just reinforcing. Really, that's what we're supposed to be doing anyways, in my opinion.
Wow, absolutely. Learn by example, and what we have talked about on Doc and Queenie specifically, someone is always watching.
This is true. So happy National Good Samaritan Day, Queenie.
Thank you, Dr. Laura. I appreciate that.
So what else is new?
Oh, wait a second. I think you missed one of the most important ones.
Did I? Let me look.
Coconut torte day. A week of it.
Oh my goodness. I forgot about the week. What is the week?
Happy National Nutrition and Hydration Week, Doc.
Well, happy hydration and nutritional day to you too, Queenie. I had to think about that because
thank you very much.
I don't have my list anymore. I was looking at it last night, but it's gone from my list. I'm probably on a different website.
I know I looked it up on a Google search, just quote random, and I wanted to see how they phrased it. And but it really is an interesting thing. And in your business, and certainly in mine, it's not like I have to remember to eat or drink. You know what I'm saying? And to think it's going to have to be a week of reminding people about nutrition and nutritional choices, and to remind people to drink half your body weight in ounces of water, not coffee, not tea, not juice, not stuff, water, to make sure that you're running on optimal efficiency. And it's just funny to me that you have to have a week for that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And setting those good habits. And of course, as we both talk about and teach, the human body is made of how much, what's the percentage? It's at least 70% water.
Yeah, usually it depends on what stat you're looking at, but it says usually about 76%, and the brain needs water. And I can't afford any problems in that department. Let's go there. And so if the brain is made up of water, I really seriously do maintain hydration. And what I always share with people is always keep a covered glass of Kangen water with you and drink before you're thirsty. And they're always like, well, how do I know I need it? And I go, you don't know you need it, but once you're thirsty, that term is dehydration. And it's hard to undehydrate. Go ahead and look that one up. And so it really is one of those things you drink before you're thirsty. And that's why every time you breathe, you lose water, and people just don't drink until, just like a little kid, they come in from outside and they absolutely chug it after they've had a huge glass of water. Drink before you're thirsty. And if you always have water available, it kind of helps you remember.
Well, and dehydration causes a lot of disease and illness, and people don't realize that. But there's a lot of.
I know that chiropractic is a large piece of what you share and teach in your naturopathy company. Isn't it interesting that one of the first things a doctor of chiropractic says is you're dehydrated, and after a treatment, then first thing they say is drink more water. And it's always interesting to me that a lot of the practitioners know that dehydration ain't a good thing.
Well, and I teach a lot too. First thing in the morning is, at least 20 ounces of water. That flushes your system, it hydrates your system, because we're basically dehydrated because we've been sleeping, hopefully for at least 8 hours,
Yep.
or more. My dog is up and running around again. Sorry.
Yep. And
She,
Doc, the other thing that you have shared with us is the nutritional pieces, like fruits that are filled with hydration. Like you eat watermelon, it really does hydrate you. Lettuce, I believe you've shared before, is a large water component. It does seem to
yep,
be a lot of what you teach is hydration.
yep. Lettuce and celery is a big,
Oh,
has
celery.
large amounts. Celery and cucumbers. Cucumbers and lettuce have a lot of water. Cucumbers have tons of water. Your celery piece also adds a lot. It's got a lot of natural salts in it. Yeah, but
Wow.
super important. But happy nutrition and hydration day, national day, Queenie.
Yeah.
I have to, I'm getting. Yes, I need to hydrate some more. The brain's kind of shutting down. It's Monday.
Yeah. The good news is supposedly this is going to last for a week. So I've already blasted it on LinkedIn for one of my posting parties I did earlier today. And the reason for it, seriously, is to kind of keep it in the forefront of people's minds. But thank you for what you do as far as the growing piece, to share with people that if we eat the things that we grow, the opportunity for effective hydration and certainly nutritional wellness are enhanced. And you're a great example of that.
Well, thank you, Queenie. So are you. It's all about food, and that means what we put in our bodies: water and food. Yep, and food in the head and food in the spiritually. Yeah, it's all about food. So, do we have our wheel ready to go? I'm excited to see what's going to happen here today.
How I love how you just, I think you wait the whole week for this wheel, don't you, Doc?
Uh huh.
I really do. I think that you totally wait for this wheel. I love that. All right, let's find out. Doc, I've got an idea. Pick a number. I already know the answer, but pick a number between 1 and 7.
Okay. Do I have to say it out loud?
Uh-huh.
7.
All right, I knew. All right, shuffle 2, 3, 4, 5,
Ooh.
6, 7. All right, so we're going to shuffle the wheel, and that way, whatever it lands on, we'll see who is the expert-er. Oh,
Huh.
gosh. Oh, there we go.
Event photos.
All
Cool.
right. Yeah, seriously. We actually haven't done this one before, so this
Care
is
to
super
start?
cool.
What does event photos mean to you, Queenie?
Well, to be honest with you, and I'm thinking about this because you and I met in July of 2019 at a group called No Excuses Networking. And so every single week, every single week, even when there were initially there were 4 or 5 of us because I just started it, and so we had a different format than what you saw when you popped on because we had already increased the numbers by a lot. And so, but every single week, 4 or 5, and I did hashtag No Excuses Networking, hashtag networking, hashtag breadsticks, or hashtag whatever else we were doing because it was at a restaurant, a little fast food place called Fazoli's. And so we tagged Italian food, tagged spaghetti, those kind of things. And literally by the hashtagging and the pictures and the no excuses networking and all that stuff, all of a sudden more and more and more and more people saw it. We were up to about 26 people when COVID decided we were finished networking in person. And obviously it was not consistent, but it was a come and go kind of opportunity just to get together for food and fellowship. And so that, in my opinion, the event photos is what promoted the group in such a way that more and more people showed up. So I love event photos. Anytime I go to a chamber of commerce, anytime that we did American Business Women Association, even on Zoom calls now, that's an event photo. And I post that and tag it with the logo or the whatever the branding of whatever organization that is. And so I think event photos speak volumes even virtually. What about you, Doc? I feel that your event photo is basically Diary of a Greenhouse.
And I take the word event to be anything, and
Yes.
you would laugh if you would hear the comments from my family. because if we do something, okay, hang on, I want to take a picture.
Wow.
I'm always saying that. But yeah, Diary of the Greenhouse definitely is lots of event photos, and still in the process of. But I even take photos of where I went for coffee, or occasionally I'll do like the car wash, or if I'm at the grocery store. I actually had posted a while back. Well, it was during the shutdown. Towards the actually towards it was towards the beginning of it, I want to say. I'm trying to remember exactly, but I took a picture of like the shelves were getting bare, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it just creates buzz, like like you say, you're doing your events and stuff. It creates buzz, and it gives you different topics to put on social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. I
Doc,
just
you just mentioned a super duper important thing that you're so good at. When you were talking about when you go for coffee and things like that, you are so great at tagging the business, like a check-in when you are at a location and you tag the business. That gives them so much buzz.
And I also try to, and I kind of learned this from you, Queenie, of course, with you taking the pictures at the No Excuses, is I always take a picture of the person I'm meeting with. And it's kind of a joke, because I try to, and you and I have done it. My arms aren't real long. It's kind of a joke, because half the time I'm cutting off somebody's head or face. Yeah. but it's that whole piece of, hey, I was with so and so and we had coffee, and yeah, and then tag the business. So event photos is super important to keeping, to feeding the social media beast.
Absolutely. And of course, with event photos, from my brain, I always say if a picture is worth 1,000 words, how much do you think a video is worth? And so think about just, well, again, Diary of a Greenhouse comes to my mind because you all of a sudden show the video of whatever you're doing, the landscape project, uh, I don't know the word for your base of your greenhouse, is those little teensy pebble things. You've literally done the video of this so that we can actually watch with you step by step. So to me, that is definitely an event photo and / video. So I can actually learn more from that. I just think video is powerful as well.
Oh, totally. It is totally powerful. And it's, of course, I always find fun in everything I do. Yeah, it definitely, pictures are great. Videos seem to be more, from the learning, like we talk about YouTube, just push a button, or a how to on YouTube, or even on Instagram, and TikTok, and those kinds of things. 15 seconds, 30 seconds videos, people are just jumping in there learning about things, or laughing, or doing something. There's something funny on there.
Do you know which YouTube video, and just a quick thought, do you know which YouTube video you've gotten the most views on yet?
My seed starting video from a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
I've had, last time I checked, about 168 people view it, which is huge for me. But I'm learning how to, a lot of it's, I'm learning how to hashtag. I'm learning how to, get the word out in different ways. And the Instagram, I'm using Instagram to cross pollinate, and then I've got several clients. So there's that piece too. So all of those kind of work together to have more views. So that's so far what I've got.
Yeah,
as far as YouTube.
I think that is phenomenal. And when we've talked about before the different steps of YouTube, and I know that the wheel said event photos, but for me, it kind of all really does go together, because when you take an event photo, you're going to post it on social
YouTube,
media.
blah, blah, blah. Yep.
Absolutely. And if you take an event video, hopefully you're going to upload that to your YouTube channel. And so then you can organize it by playlist. All of these different things that we've learned over the last couple of years. I'm so sorry about the pandemic and all the stuff that happened, and the controversy and the politics and doodah. But for me, I accomplish to take the best out of any situation. And in this particular case, the opportunity during pandemic has opened my network times a million, but also my skill level on different platforms times a zillion. And that is another thing that I think the Doc and Queenie piece has been good, but the things that you're great at are not necessarily the things I'm great at. And I think it's been, just like you mentioned, the cross-pollination piece, an opportunity to bounce off of each other and learn and help all of the people in our Doc and Queenie community.
Well, and like you just was talking about with the YouTube videos, I do use my event photos in my YouTube videos. So
Yes.
that, but yeah, the cross-pollination piece and actually, well, you were on live this morning, I do believe. It popped up on my Facebook, and I want to say you were teaching on LinkedIn. I was in and out in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, that is the Worldwide Chamber Posting Party.
Okay. Yeah. But just again, kind of tie into our themes, Good Samaritan, giving back. You were doing a training on LinkedIn and talking about different things on LinkedIn, different ways to post. And it's just very valuable information. It's a great reminder for those of us that have been doing it for a little while. And also sometimes there's nuggets in there that you've discovered that you share with people. But it's also great to give back to help people that are just starting out too. Whether it's your event photos on your LinkedIn or on your YouTube or on your Instagram or so it's just
so
cool.
many
it's
places. Fun. Yeah, there's just so many places. Yeah.
And of course, got to be consistent to stay on top of it all. But there's just so much opportunity to get the word out about helping others, about your business. I sometimes scratch my head when somebody's like, well, I can't, or I don't know how. Okay, I get the I don't know how. The I can't probably is more what I'd like to, which you just got to keep trying. And if it's not working, shift, adjust, punt and pivot. So,
do you know something that someone said to me, and it's stuck in my head so vividly that I can not only still remember, but I just can't believe it. I will talk about whatever the topic is, and the person in the room will say, I tried that once. And I always think, oh my gosh, I tried that once. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you, Doc, but my try is a lot more than once.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I tried that. I'll never forget. In fact, I think I need to blog about that, come to think of it. I tried that once. And I looked at that and I just went, you've got to seriously be kidding me. My attempts are usually one a minute until I get that, I'm going to figure this out. And I tried that once. I really am going to talk about that because that makes
well, and that reminds me of the marketing specialists, SEO people out there that reach out to us that say, hey, I can help you with your SEO. Yeah. And always the response is, well, how did you find me? But
that is so my favorite. They do not know what to say after that, because sometimes I see that it's unlikely, or it's an email that came in my inbox kind of deal, and it says, I want to help you with your SEO. And so I see the phone number and it pops up and I think, what the heck? So I say, hello. And they go through their whole thing about, I want to help you with your SEO. How did you find me? Google search. Well, boom. And so, yeah, it's a funny thing for sure.
Well, and that goes to the person I've had just recently, a couple of them. And I had one in particular, marketing specialist, SEO, blah, blah, blah. And they put an example in their email of where I needed help. And it was one of my first YouTubes when I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm like, of course, there's no hashtags on there. I just slapped it on there because, you teach, just push a button, just do it. It was one of those. And I had to laugh because I'm like, you're not correcting me or whoever this person is on my last probably 6 months. I mean, it's changed in 6 months even. And of course, it's always evolving. I'm always learning. But that SEO person marketing was, oh, look at this. You need to do this, this, and this on this video. And I looked at it, it's like from 2 years ago.
Yeah. and that honestly is one of the reasons that I did not block my original videos. I'm not severely excited about them as I look back and go, oh, Catherine. But I didn't take them off because we all start from somewhere. And I talk to people as far as their subscriptions, their YouTube subscribers, all of that stuff. And they go, I only have 3 subscribers. Please change that to I already have 3 subscribers. We all start at 0. And for me, it's a matter of just don't stop. Just do it and keep going. The sun will, in fact, I was just noticing I got a glimmer of sunshine for about 8 seconds and I'm going, but it went away. But honestly, yeah, one little streak. But it's so amazing to me. I tried that once, just sticks in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And what if we tried Doc and Queenie one time and nobody showed up? And what if nobody watched the replay? And what if we didn't get any response on Facebook Live? And what if we didn't have subscribers on our YouTube channel? And what if we didn't have followers all over social media? What if? And Doc and Queenie wouldn't be here. And that would really break my heart, because I get to hear people that say, who is this Queenie person? Obviously, they figured out that you're the doctor, but who is this Queenie person? So I'm always like, oh gosh, I go through the explanation. But it's so funny to me.
So here's, I'm going to flip it a little bit. I'm going to take a little extra time because we're getting close to.
Oh gosh, it goes so fast. Yeah, it does.
But I want to flip it a little bit and ask you a question. What about the person that keeps trying that there's no traction at all? Like, it's not just the one time. It's 50 different ways of trying something, and it's just not traction. How would you? What would the training piece be in that, or the thought process in that, for the person that keeps trying and it's just not taken off or whatever?
The first thing I would do at that point is analysis. And the second piece I would do is expectation. Those things are important to me. And the next piece is consistency. And so there's always a reason if something doesn't take off, as you call it. What's the expectation? What's the consistency as far as how often are you posting? What is the content? That's important. The style of content, the time of day, the platform that you chose initially. Are you cross-pollinating? Have you tagged people in there? The different techniques and things that are, I feel, opportunities for engagement, certainly. And then, of course, we can go a zillion steps further and let LinkedIn.com/sales/SSI, which is Social Selling Index, do the analysis piece for you, so you know what strength section you need to work on next. So there's always a reason if the takeoff didn't happen yet. And sometimes it's strategy. Sometimes it is the training piece. Did you this? And that's a very good point, by the way, Doc. And I know that you've had this in your business as well. If someone says that does not work for me, I, of course, stalk them. So I go first to LinkedIn, because that's where most business professionals go to connect initially. So I first go to LinkedIn, and they don't have an audio message. They don't have a video message. Their banner is not a good idea. I can't even recognize their profile picture. Their bio section, 220 characters, I help people with and I fix people something. Where's your power statement? They don't have a link, a website link, like a call to action button. And all these things are free. And they don't have a featured section. And they've never reached out for a recommendation. There's always a reason that something did not happen. But literally strategy, consistency, expectation, all of those things, in my opinion, definitely matter.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That was my question on that person. It's beyond the person that's, I did it once. It's,
I'm gonna flip this back in a really big way, naturopathically.
Uh-oh.
Right. All of a sudden you've got a client and they need help with, okay, we're ending the first quarter. So if weight loss journey or improved nutrition and wellness was on someone's list for what they're going to accomplish in 2023, and all of a sudden they say that naturopathy organic food stuff doesn't work for me, what would you share?
What would I share? I'm not, well, let me first say disclaimer. I'm not the person that chases somebody to
Yes.
do what they should do. Um, I'm only your information source. And yeah, that person, I actually have had clients that way. And I just, if they don't want to go organic, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to. There are options outside of that, and I educate them and give them different resources to look up, outside of the organic piece. But I also inform them that no, nothing is perfect. The organic's not perfect. Um, but it's like weighing the caveats, and this is my thinking, actually, for my own nutritional journey. I'd rather stay healthy now and be as healthy as possible, instead of creating problems through conventional non-GMO kinds of foods. So try to be as clean as possible.
If
I'm not 100%.
obviously, if there is damage along the way to the body because of poor choices, can those be fixed? And I know the
It's
disclaimer that you can't make claims, but sometimes people feel stuck.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's all dependent on the type of damage. It's all dependent on consistency. I mean, there's so many the body, for everybody, we're all individuals. Yes, we all have the same systems. We all have eyes and ears and noses and, I mean, we all have those pieces, but our DNAs might be, genetically, we are different in subtle ways. So it's those subtleties, genetics and all of those types of pieces, generally, that sometimes it just might not work. Who knows? I mean, it's every person is different, and that's when I'm doing my naturopathy. I lay out the basics, and then you basically go from there. And that's one thing that people don't understand, because we're conditioned to think quick fix, and
Oh,
what works for Sally is going to work for Joey, and it's not necessarily true, because Sally's background is different from Joey's background, and Sally likes cinnamon rolls, and Joey likes celery. So yeah, there's so many different caveats, and that's kind of what you're training with, to flip back to LinkedIn and this and that. We all have our own gifts and talents and stuff, and it's just putting out what's related to your business, who you are. It's those kinds of things. You shine in the areas that you're gifted in, and if you're not shining there, maybe you need to shift.
well, and that's a great point, because I literally have used spiritualgifts.com, and I wanted to see why I am wired the way I am. And obviously, I know where it comes from. So I wanted to see how my strengths got here. Is it something that was driven into me when I was young, or did it come from him? And that's why I got validation of why I'm like I am. Not an excuse, just an explanation. But you are so right. People want it instantly. And
Yeah,
they say things like, you this and you that and you something. And I say, hang on a second. Okay. The expert at anything was once a beginner. We
right,
all start at zero, zero sales, $0, zero whatever from your company. And that's why I always say I'm an overnight success, and it only took me 15 years.
right.
And that's really completely true. I'm grateful times a million for my blessings. And it was not easy. A lot of the years at the beginning, you're out there making the calls and doing the this and doing the that. Finally, you hit a point and the calls come this way. And it's very cool, because now people say, I want to do what you do. Can you train me? And I love that.
Yeah, and it's and I can equate that to the naturopathy piece. I tell a lot of my clients, Matt, I'm in naturopathy because I got sick,
Yes.
and it took me a long time to get out of that illness, because it took me a long time for my body to finally say I've had enough. But getting out of it was not a cakewalk, and it took a long time. So kind of in the same same way, or to correlate with what you just said with your business. For me, with the naturopathy, it took me a long time to get healthy, and I wish people weren't so quick fix. It's
Yeah.
almost like their attention span is about 2 seconds, and then they move on.
Oh, absolutely. If I start with your company, am I going to sell 100 water machines by tomorrow? Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. That is always, I always say, let's see if we can work on those expectations just a little bit. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but it's probably not going to happen by tomorrow. So,
Right.
oh my gosh, people are funny.
So, all right, Queen. Well, it looks like we're out of time as usual. It flies.
Oh my
It's
God,
just
it really does, Doc. It's so fun, honestly, to be with all of our faithful friends on purpose. And Debbie Dub is a beautiful example of that. And just to be able to see you every Monday at high noon is so fun for the Girl Chat with the Faith Twist and our faithful friends on purpose and all the terms that we've coined, because we get to learn a little bit more about National Day of and different strengths on the Wheel of Names. And all of these things just really do come full circle. And of course, you know me, since we're ending the first quarter of 2023 soon, and we're going to be ending up in July soon. And that means we're going to be at Doc and Queenie day number 3, which I can't believe. All of these things, the calendar keeps moving. And it's so fun to see the growth of the Doc and Queenie community. And I just think it's been a blast.
Oh, it's been a total blast. And what date will it be when we are back here next Monday? It's a very special day. I know you'll be celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be March 20th. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what March 20th signifies? Not necessarily. I'm hoping that, the weather will just go whoop.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it's called the first day of spring.
Yes. Yay.
Yeah.
And I know Debbie Miller is looking forward to I think actually between the three of us, we're all going, hey.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, the first day of spring for sure. It's also
Yeah.
actually the International Day of Happiness. That comes once a year, literally, but it really is the International Day of Happiness. It's an actual book. It's a day on the calendar. Yeah. So there's
So
lots happening.
So real fast, yeah. Do you have an ask or something to share before we go?
I just keep adding new videos to my YouTube channel. And the reason I do that is to edify other people. And I do have a new playlist called Best Book Reviews. And so all the authors that have sent me their books, I get to review them now. And I'm super excited about that because I feel that writing a book is so huge. And I want people to get edified for doing that. And so everybody that sends me their books and, oh my gosh, and please this and please that, I thought, you do definitely deserve edification. So I made a playlist for best book reviews and I started that over the weekend because I have nothing else to do, right?
Yeah. I heard you don't do anything.
Yeah. What is your ask, Doc?
Well, my ask is speaking of YouTube, I'm trying to hit that 100 mark.
Woohoo!
So, because I want my own URL. So, and I'm slowly getting there step by step. So that's my little ask.
Nice.
And, if you're there, subscribe and check out Diary of a Greenhouse and all of those fun things that are on my YouTube channel. So yes, and then if anybody knows of anybody that's a beginning gardener or somebody that just wants a revamp with your gardening skills, I've got a new ebook out called Grow Your Garden, the Basics and Beyond. So that's a biggie for me. So
that's huge. My gosh.
So I've been working on that for a while. So it's finally been accomplished and finished. And so I'm moving on to the next thing.
Oh my God. That really is huge though. Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us at Doc and Queenie on Mondays, Facebook Live at
high noon.
We are here every Monday. We would love to have you join us, whether it's live or on the replay. And you can check out Kathy Weaver KC on all social media or her website, kathyweaverkc.com, or myself, Kitchen Garden Expert, all over social media, or kitchengardenexpert.com, which is my website. So until next time, have a blessed, stay warm. Maybe we'll get some warm weather this week, kind of week. Happy St. Patrick's Day and Friday. Happy International Day of Happiness. Well, we'll be talking about that on Monday. And until then, take care. Thank you, Queenie.
Thank you, Doc. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.